How do you listen? Do you listen with fear quaking in the feeble flesh sack you call a body? Of course you do. We all do. Greetings from Night Vale. Listeners, as we are all aware, a large explosion emanated from Tessite Canyon early this morning. At first, it bathed Night Vale in a welcoming, unearthly glow. Since then, there has been great damage done to the town. Any citizens outside at the time of the explosion have since been transformed into horrible creatures with far too many limbs and far too few eyes. My own charge, Josie, was among them, but remains unaffected. This is most likely due to the fact that she is a small metal thing that wails a terrible noise, not unlike glass shattering, whenever I try and feed her vegetables or leave her on the side of the road. She is now in the studio with me, and is quietly sitting in the console room. No, don't touch that, dearie, please, no.
Oh, we're back. Leonard, I fixed it. I don't really know where Leonard is right now, but I think he would want me to continue the show for a bit. Okay, here goes. The cause of the explosion is unknown, but the city council announced that this is not their problem. They tried to warn us by standing obnoxiously close the day before, breathing warnings of a dire fate. But we always ignore them. We here at NVCR have nevertheless decided to continue the broadcast as usual, despite the condition of the town. First things on the agenda today is the community calendar. Monday will be irradiated, Tuesday will be irradiated, and in the late afternoon, the local branch of the Girl Scouts will be holding a bake sale. So if any of you wish to be baked into a sacrifice for the demon leader of the Scouts, come on down. Wednesday will have a slight chance of deep-seated, unpleasant, and intruding joy, followed by irradiation. Thursday will be slightly less irradiated. Friday will be like today, but better. Oh, here he is. I did a couple of the things on the list for you.
Okay, thank you, Mary. Well, I dealt with Josie, and she is now playing in the lobby with Jacob. After our advertisement during the last show, we received many offers from many companies with interests in broadcasting time. I thought it would be a wonderful idea to run ads, but station management was heavily against the idea. We eventually reached a compromise, with the only casualties being a few assistants and the janitor Phil. Philip will be missed, but I remind you that he still exists, simply in a way I don't really understand. Unlike Philip, the assistants were mauled horribly, and are certainly as dead as it is possible to be. Speaking of such awe-filled deaths, listeners, or part deaths at least, an update on the Strex employee who was turned into a fine dust at the end of the previous broadcast. While Jacob and I were collecting the dust into a small jar, it began to glow. I have since determined that the Strex man was not killed and is still sentient in his new form. he will occasionally respond when spoken to with an array of colorful lights, but I can't seem to find any meaning in them. The jar is sitting in front of me, and I think he will need a proper name if he is to stay here. Listeners are encouraged to submit their suggestions in all the usual ways. Telepathy, blood sacrifice, mail if you can handle the deplorable mailboxes that reside in all of our lawns. Or, of course, just come down to the station. You can take a tour, see where we broadcast from, and the door of station management's office, which rumbles in a pleased way whenever tour takers pass by, and rarely kills anyone. Well, I look forward to all of your name submissions. While we are talking of last week's show, an update on the library. Jacob has been many times since the reopening, and shows no fear for the librarians at all. He has even learned about them. He says that they are all named Randall, and that they die bloody and slowly. Personally, I believe that the library was fine the way it was before, and find that hiding from passing librarians is getting old, even if they do find me every time I try. As such, I have only visited with the protection of Jacob and his large knife collection. Well, Mary is telling me that it is time to read one of those new advertisements, so here we go. Come and visit the Moonlight All-Night Diner. Located next to the entrance of the underground city, the diner has boss food like invisible strawberry pie. Personally, I love the invisible strawberry pie, and order it during every visit. The diner is open continually, and plans to never close again, especially after that debacle last year. So, head on down to the Moonlight All-Night Diner, tell them Leonard Burton sent you, and be force-fed invisible pie for hours. Well, I'm certainly hungry. Josie, if the radiation dies down, would you like to head over there after the show? I'll assume that's a yes. Well, look out for us in a bit, Moonlight employees. Beware us. Now, an update on our current situation. There are creatures outside. They are making quite a bit of noise, and are more than a bit annoying. Hopefully, they're gone by the end of the broadcast. But from the paper I was just handed, that seems unlikely. I now have confirmation from concerned citizens, saying that during the meeting of the Night Vale Circle of Eateries, someone accidentally found some of the test explosives and used it as motivation for the others. It is as of yet unknown whether any of the Circle members are still alive. You know what confuses me? We receive a lot of tips from the community members, but I often wonder how these people get their information. Josie, I suppose you're right. It is pointless to question the unfathomable knowledge of such a close-knit community like ours. Oh, it appears that one of those things has gotten inside. I can hear Jacob fighting it. But it sounds like he is losing. Listeners, I ask you please, forget my next words. Forget them. Josie, Protocol 6. Protect Jacob Flynn. Forget Night Vale. Forget with the weather. Death is stronger than all the governments, because the governments are men, and men die, and then death laughs. Now you see 'em, now you don't. Death is stronger than all proud men, and so death snips proud men on the nose, throws a pair of dice and says, "Read 'em and weep." Death sends a radiogram every day. When I want you, I'll drop in. And then one day he comes with a master key and lets himself in and says, "We'll go now." Death is a nurse mother with big arms. 'Twon't hurt you at all. It's your time now. You just need a long sleep, child. What have you had anyhow better than sleep? Our library fighting Bundy is alive. The sheriff's secret police arrived to take what they're calling enraged diners into custody, using your standard custody-taking devices, ropes and cages. Also, I saw that hip new fast food place that has been lurking outside town for the past few weeks, idling into a vacant lot nearby. Going out to speak with a representative from the department, they gave this statement. These people were simply upset. The loss of their favorite dining location's owners was shocking. That's all. It certainly wasn't a strange form of radiation coming from the canyon. Don't be silly. Don't you have a radio show to get back to? The city council has also returned, saying that the canyon is now simply too full with completely harmless radon gas to be used as a testing site. In honor of said glorious gas, the canyon will now be forever called Radon Canyon, and will be used as a tourist trap. Well, the face is late, so I have to wrap up the show. Remember, it is watching, and it is waiting. You all know what? You hid it, after all. We all stashed it away, and tried to forget. See ya, Night Vale. See ya. I have to go take care of Josie. Mary, can you stop the broadcast for me, doll? Let's go, ankle biter. Greetings from Night Vale is written, voiced, and edited by Miles Jessup. Mary was Bay. Welcome to Night Vale is the property of Commonplace Books. This episode's weather was Death Snips Proud Men by Carl Sandburg. All music is by Kevin MacLeod.